What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. I am here alongside with It's the 9-Ball and Mildewy Carrot. It's a little different today, and I say that because I'm still kind of figuring out some of the dashboard stuff and all that good stuff. And now we are multi-streaming, so we're streaming on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube. I almost forgot that one, all at the same time. So really fun stuff, really cool stuff, and yeah, we're just going to see how this thing goes. I'm still working all this stuff out, but it's all good time. It's all good time. How you guys doing today, gentlemen?
I'm good.
Your audio cut out again. Good sir. You might.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of a issue. I think one of these has got a short in it. I've been doing good though today.
That's good. That's good. What about yourself, Mildewy Carrot? How's it been?
It's been living life, living large, taking charge. Not really.
Heard that.
Figuring out stuff.
So
being me.
So figure out stuff being you, okay? All right, nothing wrong with that. As you guys know, and this kind of goes inside of one of our topics that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. Tomorrow is going to be Hitman 3 for the first I can't say for the first time, but it's gonna be the third one of its trilogy. Do you guys have any hype levels for that? Any expectations? Anything like that? Good, bad, near, nay, anything like that? What's up? What's going on?
I've got no hype for Hitman.
No hype. All right.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. It's a preference. You don't gotta apologize to me. I didn't make the game.
To the game developers who made it, apologies all around. You did not capture my attention.
You hear that, IO? You hear that, IOI? So anyway, So
I've been.
little quick shout out to S Killed. What up, handsome people? Thanks again for tuning in. S Killed is from Denmark, so right now it's like maybe 2 a.m. his time. I don't know, something crazy. So we always appreciate it when you're dropping in and giving us the love and support, the whole nine. Before we go and dive inside the news, what have you guys been playing starting with 9-Ball? What are some things that you've been looking forward to? What are some new games you picked up? What have you been playing, man?
Been looking forward to like I was telling them off chat. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide and Medium. These are 2 games I've been waiting on now for 2021. As for current playing games, quite a bit of 14 today.
Final
Fantasy. Yeah.
Okay. I've been I've been meaning to get back to it, and I keep telling others. I was just like, all right, I want to go ahead. Eskil says it's midnight his time, so not too late. I was about to say I always try to get squatted up to do it, and then I end up doing something else or something comes up and I don't end up getting back to it. But I very much want to proceed and try to get more inside Heaven's Word, because I thought that was a really cool DLC whenever that popped up. So what about you, Mildewy? What have you been playing? What have you been doing? Or you just get back from vacation, so you're back to the work life? What's up? What's new?
We're not talking about work life. That's shifting. It's like shifting tracks going Mach 70. In a train with no engine. I pretty much just been kind of relaxing, playing. I did finally get a Nintendo Switch, so I dove like 3 days into Breath of the Wild. Holy crap! Like not even like a % done, and it's like huge and beautiful. So that's going to take a lot of time. It's like also been playing Stranded Deep, Subnautica. I found a new game online called No Place Like Home on Steam. That if you've ever played My Time at Portia, it's a really fun game. Just launched December 31st. It's like $5 on Steam and early access and all, but it's really fun. So far, base game wise, I've did about 4 hours in it. Was able to get pretty much almost all of it done at that point in time, but there's like more stuff coming as they go through the quarters. It looks like by the end of the year, hopefully they'll have a lot more out and maybe more after that. So definitely a game I'd recommend checking out there. But other than that, just relaxing and having a good time.
Heard that. That's what's up. As far as for me, I actually have been on the Hitman train because, yeah, I definitely went ahead and wanted to take more advantage of my PlayStation Now membership. Completely got it by accident. Whole long story, but long story short, I'm a proud owner now of PlayStation Now subscription, at least for the year to come. So I just wanted to take advantage of that a little bit, and one of the games I was cycling through, and I was just like, well, do I want to go through Saints Row again? Do I want to go and do X, Y, and like all these different games that are. Yeah, of course. I'm definitely going to go back to Saints Row for sure. That's not even a question. That's a fact. But I wanted to also see some other games that I always thought was kind of interesting, just never either got into or just never bought or whatever. And Hitman was on that list, so I was like, all right, let me go ahead and try this out a little bit. And so fired up Hitman 2. Let me tell you, man, it's a great time. It's such a great time that I've been having that I am going to be picking up Hitman 3. So like that, it's that, and what's even more beautiful about Hitman 3, which we're going to actually talk about here in a minute, is that if you own Hitman's 1 and 2, you have it on 3. You get those same maps on 3. So it all carries over. You get this nice little beautiful bundle, all wrapped in one. And again, mind you, this is a PS3 game, PS3 era that I'm playing on the PS4, PS5, and it's just been a great time. So. But yeah, enough about that. Let's go ahead and, speaking of Hitman, let's go ahead and dive inside this first bit of news that we have here. Hitman 3 reviews. So Phil Hornshaw from GameSpot says, since it's rebooted its Hitman franchise in 2016, IO Interactive have been putting on a level design masterclass. Each of the missions the developer rolled out in what is called the World of Assassination series contained huge, intricate collection of scripted and free-form systems that create harrowing movements, presented elaborate puzzles to solve, and allowing players to orchestrate ludicrous and often hilarious situations. I've actually came across some of those on Hitman 2. Levels are designed to be played over and over so you can explore, understand, and eventually master all moving parts, and it's impossible to see everything one has to offer in a single playthrough, or in most cases, even 2 or 3. At first blush, Hitman 3 appears to be more of the same. It makes no drastic changes to the underlying formula, instead adding a few graphical upgrades and quality of life improvements to the existing Hitman framework. But Hitman 3 improves on the world of its assassination through consistently excellent level design, which is saying something given how strong and all the previous missions are. Hitman 3 is full of fun and fascinating new ideas, many of which play through concepts underpinning in the last 4 years of Hitman levels. So, I say all that to say, what's going on, gamer life? Good to see you, good to see you. I say all that to say, Hitman has, when I was first trying to get into Hitman, well, first and foremost, before I say my piece, have you guys ever tried to get inside Hitman? Any of you guys?
Yes.
You guys did. Okay, cool. So my issue when I was trying to dive inside Hitman, and we're doing great, by the way, gamers, doing definitely great. My issue when I was trying to get inside Hitman was I didn't know how things would be flowing from one assassination or one chapter to the other. I had no idea how that worked. You know what I mean? Like, I was a kid on PS2, PS3. I was a kid trying to figure this thing out. And every so often, if I got lucky, I got into a mission where I was able to assassinate somebody. But that was it. I had no sense of the purpose, had no sense of the story or whatever. And you guys already know me. I'm a plot-driven type of player. And yeah, it just didn't grasp me at that time period. I'm a little older now. Much older now, actually. Let's be real. I'm older now. And I have more of a concept of how it navigates through from one mission to the next mission and on all that good stuff. I don't know how I feel about multiple playthroughs. They're short, which is beautiful. That's great. But I've never really been the type to do it over and over and over and over again. So that is something that's going to be a little interesting, and I have to see exactly how that's going to pan out. But the way that this is designed now, seems to be a little bit more my style. So I'm kind of curious to see what Hitman 3 is going to have to offer for me. Just by reading the article, just flat out, is there anything that grasps at you guys? Is there anything that seems intriguing or anything that you guys want to capitalize on?
Might need to go back and start replaying them. The last time I played Hitman was, oh god, me and my brother played it. It was like at least 10, 15 years ago. We played like Hitman, Blood Money, stuff like that, and we played it mainly for fun. And God, we did terrible. I tell you, we did so bad. We kept getting mass murderer.
Yeah.
Because we did not know how to do the stealth at all. It was sad because we could play Splinter Cell like it was clockwork, but for some reason we couldn't get Hitman down. And we always ended up killing like the wrong person, actually killing a maid or getting maid out because, they would start, so there's a bald guy in here. And they'll start describing your character slowly when people start figuring them out. And we failed over and over again, but I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad game. I just need to replay it. I think it was all right. If you're into that type of like sneaky stealth espionage style games, it should be up your alley.
100%.
And yeah, it's not horrifically. I'm gonna probably replay it here shortly. I got a few other ones I've never played on there yet. Mildewee, your thoughts?
I really don't have any, to be completely honest. I've never touched Hitman games. I've seen some of the trailers and all. Guy looks completely badass. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. He looks bad freaking ass. The gameplay trailers I saw for 3 look fantastic. Very enticing. But as of right now, I don't see myself really picking it up. Not because I don't want to, but because there's a lot of other stuff that just kind of piques my interest more. And I'm going to kind of gravitate more that way, unfortunately. If I have a chance to pick up maybe a later date for a little bit of a cheaper price on a sale or something, or maybe free through one of the systems, definitely. We'll definitely look at picking it up and getting into it there. But as of right now, I kind of just don't have the urge to, even if I were to play, I'd probably be like, oh, this is really cool. Now let me go back over here. I'm just unfortunately that engrossed in a lot of other stuff right now to where I wouldn't be as heavy into it. So definitely something on the list, but as of right now, not highest priority for me, unfortunately. No offense to Hitman 3.
No, there's nothing unfortunate about that, man. It's just one of those games that it either grasps you or it doesn't. At an earlier time period, I thought the concept was really cool. I just didn't understand it. I was too young to understand it. Now, after I was in the same boat as Nineball here, where it's been years before I actually dove back into it. I literally just started this last week, and I absolutely love it. I'm like, how in the world did I not know about this game? I mean, obviously I knew about it, but it's just like, how come I didn't actually try to give it another shot earlier? Like, and now Hitman 3 comes out tomorrow, so it's just like, now I got to beat it after we get done with this stream. So, but yeah, I had a really good time with it, and I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm definitely looking forward to what Hitman 3 is going to offer, especially the PS5 version. Can't wait for that. So yeah, you guys have been around. You guys been look up the Get Video Game News, all that good stuff. What are your guys' thoughts about this next topic that we're about to cover, which is the new Indiana Jones game by Bethesda? What's your guys' thoughts?
I gotta see more. I gotta hear more, because right now they're very, very tight-lipped on it. And I think we talked about this last time, but it's like, I feel like they could go any ones of like a couple dozen ways, to be completely honest. The top ones I see is it's kind of like another Uncharted. Maybe possibly another Tomb Raider. And what I mean by another Tomb Raider series is that we see Indiana Jones after he's already become this acclaimed archaeologist and all. But what about when he first gets started? Like, what was he doing then? Like, what got him onto that career path? I could possibly see that being one aspect of it. Or one where it's just, maybe a full revamping of the series or something, to where it's just, a whole remastering. But right now it doesn't feel like a remaster. It feels like they are doing something brand new. Now, that remastering one is possibility, because you never know what they would do. They've got their own mindset. Because the only thing we know is we see from a 34-second trailer is a panning of a workspace covered in all these different books and notes and everything. And you see Bethesda, you see Lucasfilms, and then I think it was Machine Gear is the one who's one of the companies making
Machine
it.
Games.
Machine Games.
Yeah.
Sorry, Machine Games. My bad. Sorry, guys. No offense. I forgot.
You're good.
But you see those three names on there, and then you just see the hat, his hat being picked up in the whip, and you hear a whip crack, and then that's it. That's all you got. So all we know is there's a game coming out, and I haven't heard any speculations of it. Now, I will say this: I'm not like Nineball and can dive into the dark realms of the gaming world through Reddit and 4chan and see everything.
Oh no, I don't.
But I definitely think they could do it one of the ways. I'm kind of personally hoping for something like what Tomb Raider did, where you actually you have a different world version of Indiana Jones, but you actually start at the beginning of his evolution into the Indiana Jones that we know. I think that would be fun and cool. That's my personal hope. But as of right now, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's on their mind. So we'll have to wait for more info, at least in my opinion.
What about you there, Nineball?
Yeah, I was listening to Mildewy talk, and in a way, I'm getting kind of scared.
You
Wait, are you scared of my talking or what I was talking about? I'm now concerned.
No, it wasn't you. It's just where you was doing it, it made kind of sense, but it's a bad kind of sense. Indiana Jones is one of those iconic franchises. This is one of those franchises where you got to be careful. I wouldn't say you can just straight up like redo your own imagination of them. When I was a kid, we grew up on Indiana Jones movies. I mean, The Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Facts.
It's your dad's movie, so it's like this is your.
It had one of the scariest scenes from. You remember the scene where that guy drank the wrong cup?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the scene where he pulls out the heart.
Kalima.
That freaked me out when that dude drank the wrong cup and he started turning into a skeleton.
Yeah.
Yep. That was from
I remember that. Yeah. Raiders.
Was that the Lost Ark?
I don't think. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark because it was the Nazi guy, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That whole one was the Nazi guys because they're trying to find the Ark and all, and you have to go through. You find the Grail. It was like one of the
like for the Holy Grail.
Yeah. And the Bridge of Light, it's like you have to like have faith and be able to walk on the Bridge of Light, to get to it and all.
Crazy.
Like I said, I can see some Tomb Raider stuff in there, but Nineball, continue.
It's so good. It's so iconic of a franchise. Bethesda, let's say, has got a checkered history. I mean, you get good games like Prey. I think Dishonored was pretty good.
Skyrim.
But Skyrim.
So long as it's on PC and you can mod it.
I mean, it's one of my favorite games. Don't get me wrong. But if you just play just the vanilla game compared to the modded game, it's like two different games. I'm playing back through it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got at least 60 mods on there. So it's totally...
Only 60?
I was having some errors, so I had to shut some of them down. So we're going to I'm going to slowly start turning them back on to get it up and running. But it depends, too, on what engine they put in. Because if you use, like, the tech engine, like they've been using, like, on Doom and all those, it runs beautifully. But if you use Game Bro, oh, no, you might end up with another 76. At launch 76. I'm playing through the new 76 and it's not bad. I mean, I'm glad they added humans to the game.
What? They just added humans to the game? Was that Baron? Is that what it was?
Yeah. The point of the game was for you to be the NPC.
Yeah.
For you to be the shopkeeper, the teller.
I haven't played 76, so this is all news to me.
Yeah, there was no people in the game.
Yeah, you were the game.
Wow, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's why they added NPCs real quick.
Wow. Okay.
Good thing they had the backlog of NPC libraries they could pull from.
Yeah, I guess so. I would not even thought that was even an option. They're trying to I Am Legend you just now. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another problem is it's like that. Anybody remember the movie Poltergeist?
I heard of it. I never seen it.
Okay, the original Poltergeist is like a with
It's been
Toby
so long.
Hooper. Yeah, it's a classic horror movie. They tried to redo it and it just went into obscurity.
Mm.
This can easily happen in Indiana Jones because so many people have taken off of Indiana Jones of inspiration, like Tomb Raider. You have Nathan Drake. The Uncharted series. You have so many series that have used inspiration from Tomb Raider to where it could become a problem later on when Tomb Raider comes back out because everybody's gonna say, "Oh, we've seen this off this game and we've seen that off this game is copying this game is copying that game," but they don't realize that Indiana Jones came before all of that.
Mm.
And it can easily be dropped into obscurity. So I'm wondering how they're going to do this and separate it. So a lot of questions for me.
That's actually my take too as well. You hit the nail right on the head. Exactly what I was thinking about. So like first of all, there's a few things I have that's I guess you could say I have reservations on. First and foremost, it's Indiana Jones. I mean, Lucasfilms, I'm not really too familiar with their work in particular. I know that they have made the Indiana Jones game back on like PS1, like way early in the day and stuff like that, or whatever. And I think they even took on some of the Star Wars IPs too back in the earlier time periods too. But they're coming back, which is again apparently a great thing. The thing though is that now with the generation that they're targeting, how many of those people that are true Indiana Jones fans play video games anymore? You know what I mean? Like that particular genre, they're older if they're even no shade intended, but even if they're even alive still. Like I know Indiana Jones because that we had it on VHS and it was just like one of those like that's when a lot of people had classic VHSs. You know what I mean? I only know it because of that. I didn't go out and search for Indiana Jones.
Theme song going through my brain right now.
And there's even for me, like I'm over 30. There's people even that's my age right now that still don't even know what Indiana Jones is or even ever watched it. They've heard of it. They just never cared to watch it. So
you have to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you didn't interrupt.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
It's pretty much one of those things like we said before. It's like it has to be from like your dad, like your dad's dad or something like that. Like that was their movies. That was their love is their Indiana Jones. And I understand, kind of where you guys are coming from in ways like, because like especially what you're going, the way you're going, Malachi, is like no one knows the original Indiana Jones. Like of our age and current generation of the gamer, a lot of them do not know. Now a lot of those older gen guys who are like 50 or 60 who's still playing, they'll probably remember Indiana Jones and some of those old games. But what they have to do, that's why I was saying I'm hoping to go the Tomb Raider route, is because of the fact that this newer generation does not know it, so they have to reintroduce it to them. So the Tomb Raider way, fantastic way of doing it. You start off breaking an archaeologist down and building her up into this badass. I loved it. I'm so happy with that game, with the way it turned out. If they can do that with Indiana Jones, kind of like breaking him down a bit and building him up into this, holy crap, he's just like a guy who can walk through the Temple of Doom, watch someone get their heart ripped out from Kalima, drink a goblet, turn it into a skeleton, and just walk away going, whatever, I got an arc to find. I'm down for playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to do it the right way or else they're going to lose it.
And that,
so I agree. They got to sell it right. They got to get it right to get the interest of these newer age gamers.
Yeah. But not even just that. Like, a lot of the newer age gamers, if you're on PlayStation, you are going to reference that to Uncharted. No doubt. No doubt, period. If you're on Xbox and or PlayStation, you might refer it to Tomb Raider. Point taken. For both of those games, they've been around for a couple years. They haven't really stopped. Like, you had Tomb Raider from PlayStation 1 all the way until now. They kept on making series throughout the whole lifestyle of gamers that's currently gaming right now. Same thing for Uncharted. That came out on the PS3 era.
I think it was 2.
I don't think it hit 2. I think the first one was actually on PS3. Then they made another one on PS3, and then they had one for PS4. I don't think it hit PS2, but
sworn they did a double or like an advanced release for 3.
Yeah, I was about to say you guys can look it up right now if you like to. But I was about to say regardless though, that's been around for some time, and it's made a name for himself with Naughty Dog, and now that's been done. So now you have Indiana Jones, which the most relevant appearance it has had before this announcement. The most relevant appearance it had was a failure, and that's the one with the Shia LaBeouf. It was a movie.
It was the Crystal Skull, right?
Yeah,
I don't even know. I mean, because like when
the Crystal Skull was.
that was the one with Shia LaBeouf, and it wasn't a good. It wasn't received well at all. So it's just like
I bet.
It was an okay movie, but I'm not gonna write home about it. So I was like, yeah, I saw it. That's it.
See, I didn't see it, and I know it did bad. Like, it just was not, you know what I mean? It just wasn't received well at all by the audience. So that's the last Indiana Jones impressions that was out there. So it just makes me think that, like, okay, now, one, if you do decide to go ahead and bring the Indiana Jones franchise to life, okay, one, you're starting from scratch. So a lot of these people that have no idea who Indiana Jones is, when they start playing the game, they go like, that is a ripoff of Uncharted. And that kind of leads me to another reservation that I think, to be honest with you, I think if they release this, and it probably won't be, because this was done well before the Xbox deal, which is still in negotiations right now, hasn't been confirmed yet. But I think if they did that, they would need to actually make it an Xbox exclusive, because Xbox, they don't have Uncharted. So if you wanted to kind of hit that basis of it and have it be a completely fresh new experience, make that an Xbox exclusive. That's my thought process for that. They probably won't, but I'm just saying in general that would be the smarter idea to do. But also, here's another thing to think about. I actually didn't think about this until Gary Whitta and Paris Lilly from Kind of Funny Games on the Xcast had talked about this. Indiana Jones is under Disney.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to.
That's why I said the Lucasfilm.
Yeah, they're gonna have to censor the mess out of that. You know what I mean? Does Disney want to be associated with a violent brand that has Nazis in it? They're gonna have to. You don't
know what they're gonna put into the actual game
of violent movies. Do you know?
You don't. But I'm just saying, if you compare that back to the movies, the traditional movies, none of them are actually friendly kid appropriate. None of them.
Yeah, I mean, but Star Wars doesn't either.
Franchise.
Say it again, Nineball.
You know, Disney has the Scream franchise too.
Scream franchise? I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really know until I watched this whole thing on it. On YouTube, and somehow it fell into Disney's lap. They have a lot of violent stuff. The Aliens and Predator franchise is also underneath them.
I mean, there you go.
When you acquired Fox, you get 20th Century Fox.
Oh, good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but even so though, even if they are somewhat violent or semi-violent, whatever like that, it depends on what lengths you could go to. Honestly, looking back at Indiana Jones, someone's ripping another person's heart out. That alone is not Disney. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's a little extreme. It's just like how deep into it do they really want to try to get? So that's just kind of interesting to me to think about as far as how they're going to tackle it and how they're going to create this in a way to where it's not as graphic and violent, and that's going to put a censor on Indiana Jones to a T. Also, I think that the last thing too as well that I think will be an interesting take and what they probably should do, if they do go ahead and make an Indiana Jones games, I would be kind of curious to see if they're going to make it on the side of his sidekick grown up, the little Asian kid. I think that would be a really interesting take if they had it to where he's now taking the reins. Yeah, not him. I'm just saying. I think that'd be an interesting take if they decided to do that
already. So we're good.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll just kind of have to see. But I just thought I just wanted to know your guys' thoughts about the Indiana Jones news there, because it was. Go ahead.
It's way too early in the game for. I mean, we can throw out ideas all day long until they come out with more concrete, releases or information, or we see some more hack releases like that people have done, like what they did with Kingdom Hearts and all, where they dig into it and see some background arts or all, and to give us kind of more little breadcrumbs to go along. We're really going to be just shooting in the dark here, trying to hit a bullseye. So, it's going to be interesting. Like you said, it really is going to be interesting what they're going to do with this game and how they're going to go about doing it, because they didn't give anything away besides who's involved with the game and what the game is about, which is Indiana Jones. Right. So, the very, very hidden. One thing, though, to you, Nineball, Machine Games is actually the group that made Wolfenstein. The Wolfenstein, I think it was New Order up to Youngblood and all, when they took over. But that game was built on the ID Tech 6 engine, so I don't know if they're gonna go between.
Just stick with that.
I mean, I would
Not
prefer,
use
because
the
I've
Game
seen
Pro
gameplay on that. It looks pretty good. I don't know which one they're going to choose because it's Bethesda, but I don't know because I don't know who's the main runner and builder of the game. I don't know if it's Machine Games or if they're acting as a backup to Bethesda. I don't know. Yeah. So, but I thought that was interesting that they run off the ID Tech 6 one, and they moved those ones. So.
I'm going to go ahead and read off the section that Stephen T. Wright from GameSpot had talked about concerning the Indiana Jones games. But before we go and do that, Gamers Life and S-Killed, if you guys are still in the chat or viewing in, or anybody else that's in the chat, if you guys are tuning in, throw in your guys' reservations about the Indiana Jones news. First and foremost, have you guys even heard about Indiana Jones? And second, because I know S-Killed is a college student, right? Or in high school or something. Yeah, you're young blood, so you might not even know what Indiana Jones is. But if you have, what are your thoughts about it? And then same thing for you, Gamers Life. What are your thoughts about that new Indiana Jones IP being made by the people that made Wolfenstein and that originally had the IPs for Star Wars and stuff like that? So very curious to see what you guys' thoughts are about that. But going on over to the how is that Indiana Jones game looking? Stephen T. Wright from GameSpot says Machine Games Wolfenstein: The New Order and its sequel to Wolfenstein 2, the Colossus, the new Colossus, breathed life back into a shooter franchise that many had left for dead. Now, following the surprising announcement that the studio is working on an Indiana Jones game published by Bethesda, some have noticed that the developers is hiring roles that suggest it could be working on a live game with some form of microtransactions. Those roles listed on a developer's career page are senior live programmer, and monetization and live designer. The latter positions calls for candidates who can develop and manage the economy monetization components to meet players' expectations and creative directions, and can design games for features that monetize and re-engage players in consumer-friendly ways. Given that Machine Games has focused explicitly on single-player games in the past, with the co-op-focused Wolfenstein: Youngblood drawing significantly worse reviews than the two previous games, these postings indicate a potential shift for the studio. For me, reading that, what are your thoughts? Microtransactions, the coming off of, I guess, Youngblood wasn't well received according to this article.
They didn't like the two lead characters. I think the two girls or something. They didn't like them.
I've never played Wolfenstein. I've been told I need to, but
yeah,
I just don't like the word. I don't like that word, microtransactions.
I don't mind it in games that are like Smite or like Apex or like something that does not hinder you from getting the full game experience. You know what I mean? If it's something that's cosmetic, or even if it's just like an extra level design, like I'm cool with DLCs. Like if I play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I do have, and if I wanted to go ahead and get the DLC, which is the Super Edition, to where you start going to Siberius and stuff like that, or the Golden Frieza, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if there's going to be some additional content that's going to, maybe I get this special gun that will make killing enemies much easier or something like that. Like that's just make it part of the game and just make it a super rare drop or something.
You mean Battlefront 2?
My problem is this. I see it going this way. If they put like certain uniforms, I mean, I know you said cosmetics, but certain cosmetics in this particular situation is almost paramount to the game itself. When you think of Indiana Jones, you think of certain things. You think of that uniform, you think of the hat, you think of the whip, you think of the gun. If you put that stuff behind a paywall and say, oh, the original movie version, and you end up with, I don't know, Clark Dean, the hunter, the tomb hunter. In order to get Indiana Jones, you have to pay an additional $5 to $10 to get the original uniform of Indiana Jones. I'm gonna have a problem in this situation.
Oh yeah,
and it's paramount, and it goes too well, and it's part of the history and culture of the game. I mean, like you said, certain things like Smite, the cosmetics of Smite really don't bother me. My problem is that they hide too many behind loot boxes.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion for another day. We're gonna
Battlefront,
get that show.
Battlefront 2, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say the EA?
but to put Indiana Jones or put certain key characters behind paywalls, and there's certain circumstance would hinder the game, and it would hurt it really bad.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'm going to say is, and I'm going to go back to this, Tomb Raider, wow, I sound like Malachi talking about Final Fantasy, but about Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Like to be him. This is weird. Anyways, Tomb Raider does have some microtransactions where it's like you can buy, like for the first one, where you can buy like maps, some skins and equipment for the multiplayer stuff. That's multiplayer. It only affects multiplayer. I didn't write it as anything because I didn't play the multiplayer really. It has no aspect in consequence to the main story game. To the goodness that is the Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider 2 and 3, they've actually got cosmetic stuff that you can get, but they come with DLC packages, or they come with additional packages, which is extra content, extra story. That's the only way I would want to buy a skin or something, is with a DLC content, is with an additional. So let's say you've got, this, the original Tomb Raider Indiana Jones style skin, but you include it in a package arc of like where you go like on like one of his history things, like one of his past like adventures, if you had something or something related to it, like you create a DLC that includes that in there. Not like Nineball said, where it's like, oh hey, $20 and you can get this skin just to look good in the game.
Right.
That I will definitely have a problem with, So I hope they do not do something along the line. I'm hoping what this means is that I don't know how they would do this with an Indiana Jones game, but maybe there's a multiplayer aspect to it that it's going to have microtransactions that you can do this in versus the main story mode. I don't know though, but when you say microtransactions with a game that's purely a story-based game, normally that should be, at least in my opinion, one that's purely story-based, that doesn't bode well for me. That just reminds me of too many games where they do that, like the NBA, I don't even know the game, that basketball game.
2K Live.
Yeah, the 2K stuff where it's like, you can play those tournaments, but it's like you have to, to get certain things, you got to play their loot lottery, whatever system and all to get this stuff or get upgrades and all. Just I had flashback to, what was it, Battlefront 2? Did I mention that one? With EA and loot boxes at the beginning?
I think you have thrown it up there, once or twice.
It just, I don't like that they're putting that into our society and putting that into the mainstream gaming when it's already so predominant on freaking mobile games. That's why I don't play on mobile really anymore. It's because to go any further in a game, you have to buy stuff, and that just drives me insane.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that'd make you wait 48 hours.
Yeah. It's like, I'm like, all right, fine. You're not going to get a damn cent you're going to get it from other people, me. And actually, I haven't picked up those games in like 5 years, so that's the better of collected.
But it also depends on the type of game that it's coming out on. For again, if it's a games as a service, so like Fortnite or Smite or League of Legends or something like that, to where it's typically free to play, then it makes sense to have those microtransactions, so that way they're getting some form of money in some form of fashion. This is Indiana Jones. This is expected to be a $59, $69 game. You know what I mean? You're getting your money. There's nothing to do about that. You are getting your money. You're just trying to get even more money out of it. All right? Don't CDPR this. Don't CDPR this. Let it go ahead and just be. Don't have those microtransactions that's going to be changing the gameplay and the experience. I love Asura's Wrath. But that was one of the things that Asura's Wrath had a problem with at the end, is that it sold you a game, which I ended up beating in like 5 hours. It sold you a game, and then the DLC was them taking the actual ending of the game and selling it to you later. They just broke off the piece at the end and sold it to you later for an extra $15. And
Like,
it's just
you want
like,
your
really?
dessert? You want your dessert?
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah, it was just like, now it was dope that they brought in Akuma. It was dope that they brought in Ryu into the mix. It was Capcom, so of course they had the capability of doing that. That part was fantastic. I thought the game itself was pretty great. But the stuff, again, that they kind of throw at you at the end is just like, hey, we know we took $50, $60 from you, but we're still not satisfied. We want to take more from you. And it's just like, that's not friendly. That's anti-consumer. That in itself is anti-consumer. So, and then going on over to the last little bit of this, and I want to kind of park the bus here for a hot second. I want to talk about this because we've been talking about this ever since November. We've actually been talking about this ever since September, to be completely honest with you. But scalpers are a pain in the rear. Okay, scalpers suck. They absolutely suck. But you know what sucks even more than that? People that are trying to take advantage of people that of other individuals that are trying to sell their consoles. You know what I mean? So like, here's one in particular that I'm talking about, is that it's actually, if you guys are on my Facebook right now, it's actually the video right below this one, and I labeled it "them scammers, bro," and I cracked up at it because there's a person. It's about 30 seconds to 45 seconds long, and this kid, and I know he really wasn't trying to sell it. I think he just did it for the views and stuff like that. But he went up to a pawn shop to see how much they were going to give him, to see if they're going to do justice by him by selling his PS5 to the pawn shop. And he wanted to know how much he would get for it. And the guy took a look at it. It's an older guy. He's taking a look at it. He goes to the computer, types in the name. He's just like, there's a lot of them out there for sale. Yeah, I guess it's just because of the bugs and stuff. Like, a lot of people don't want them right now. And he's just like, I can go ahead and give you $20. He was going to offer this guy $20 for a PS5 for him to sell it to the pawn shop. Guaranteed, he's going to turn around and sell that for $700. Easy. So, and of course, I don't know how the video ends because it kind of cut after the kid was acting like he was thinking about it. But it was just like, seriously, people are out here trying to take advantage, man. That guy knew good and well. He knew good and well when he typed that name in the computer that thing was not having any. He just made up something on the spot. Straight up lied to the customer. Straight up lied to him. So I say that to say, watch out for them scalpers. Don't give them their money. But also, if you are planning on selling your console, make sure you guys check out the blue book value. Make sure you guys are seeing how much that thing is actually worth before you go and do that. Don't let anybody shortchange you if you're truly trying to sell it. So I say all that to say that before we dive into this article, what are your last thoughts about this? Because I know we talked about this. We've been draining this for a while. What are your guys' comments to those scalpers out there? What are you guys' comments to those people out there that's trying to get themselves a Xbox Series X or a PS5?
It's killing everybody. I mean, we talk a lot about PS5 and Xbox Series X. I was just reading in PC Games magazine that it is a huge problem even on our front. They're scalping a bunch of CPUs, GPUs are becoming a problem to get, and they're selling them for absolutely ridiculous prices. They was talking about, I didn't get to read the whole article, but they were talking about how much the scalpers are making off this to where they're taking them. And I'm seeing GPUs that should be $400 or $500 over $1,000, and it's ridiculous. It's getting to the point where it's just annoying on all fronts. You can't even pick up a console. And I know people are still saying, well, a console is just something you're doing at leisure time. Well, how would you like if somebody took all the designer clothes or something like that and scalped them and resold them? I mean, we can get you T-shirts all day.
Go to Walmart.
Yeah, just get a bunch of T-shirts. You get your designer clothes and all that because, to be honest, it's something you want to get. And especially nowadays in an epidemic and stuff like that, people, they want this stuff. I mean, you're in the house all day. You want something to do for fun. And let's say, like, your PlayStation 4 might have had problems. It may have bit the dust one day. And you decide, well, the PS5's out. Let me go ahead and get that instead. And now you look online. You can't find a PS5. You can't buy a PS5 unless it's like ridiculously high. Like somebody was telling me they was marked how high?
They range anywhere between $800 to $3,800.
Yeah, they go up to ridiculous prices in scalping. I mean, it needs to stop.
I'm gonna go to eBay right now and see how much they're selling.
Actually, I'm already on there.
There you go.
Top rating one is like pretty much $1,500, and they're like, "Oh, there's 23 watchers. Oh, I've sold like 61 of these." I'm like, "I'm hoping to dear God you have not."
Don't buy.
I'm like, don't. That's not worth it, people. It's not. I mean, don't give them your money. Don't encourage this.
Do not. Who remembers Gruff the crime dog? Okay, who remembers Gruff the crime dog? Don't do drugs and don't buy scalpers.
Exactly.
Facts. Tell them they're 9-ball. Tell them.
I was thinking about getting one today, and then you just see on the thing that you're not going to find one because basically, like I said, it's reading about scalpers, and then you start reading about the guys are just buying them in ridiculous quantities and bragging about it, and then you just, you know what? I'm fine. I'm straight. I don't even need one anymore.
Yep. I got a Switch.
I got a high-end computer, so I just use that for that. And I still want a PlayStation 5. Don't get me wrong, but it's making me wait even longer and longer and longer. Here we go. There are the prices.
These things are ridiculous.
I know, right?
$1,500, $1,400. We got a $1,200.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
People are sick. That's the moral of the story. People are sick.
$850 are best offer. I should give him $1.
No, the best offer should be $4.99.
I'm gonna put $1 on there.
You know what I mean? That's the best offer right there. Is $4.99.
Here's one: $948.96. eBay top rated seller. Last one. I've sold 6. I hope to God you have not. And I hope to God you get banned from eBay for doing this shit.
Yeah.
And oh my God, here's one in that picture. They've been stacking them, and they got like 5 of them stacked. They're going, "You guys want one of these? You're gonna have to pay up like $1,200." I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
You are not worth any of it.
And I'm wondering too as well. Like, I'm wondering still to this day. I don't know why the recaptures are not enforced by retailers. Maybe there's something behind the scenes that we honestly just don't know about, but I feel like that's a very simple solution as far as asking if you're a freaking robot or not.
Make them push the 3 fire hydrants. I had to do that earlier.
I don't get it. I don't get why that's not
just a fire hydrant.
Yeah, I don't know why that was. I mean, me and Gravity were talking about that the other day. It still makes no sense of why that. I even tried to not, granted I wasn't like hawking it because again I already got mine, but anytime I see something from Wario64, by the way, shout out to Wario64, you do a fantastic job, man. Appreciate your tweets, the whole 9, trying to look it out for the community, all that good stuff. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. But I got a little notification from Wario64 and it looked like that Kohl's was selling some, and it was just like that, it was gone, but still like I tried to jump on it quickly so I could try to lock in at least for one of you guys. You know what I mean? It's trying to get that in there, and it's just like scalpers are just going at it. And it's just like, why are you guys not putting in these recaptures inside your systems? I do not get it. They act like it's rocket science. And again, maybe there's something that I'm just overlooking or maybe not thinking about. But I feel like that's too easy of a solution. Like, just put in the recaptures. You guys do it for everything else. You guys do it for whenever I buy a movie for $20. Why not do it for a $500 system?
Or how about this? How about we just stock them in the stores, and the person can walk up and show an actual government ID and buy one. You can stand 6 feet away from me while I buy my PS5.
I'm just saying that's the reason why they're not doing this, because COVID.
No, they do it for medications for the seniors. You can still go to the grocery store. You pull up, you go in, you show an ID, you get your PS5.
Yeah.
Hell, take over the freaking pharmacy drive-through and do it that way. They drive up, they show their ID through the window and all. You verify, they hand you a PS5 through the window, you drive off, you're happy. You go.
Now that would be, I would say going back to the in-store thing, medication, that's a necessity. If you have to quickly pick it up, I see why they would let that inside the store over a PS5. But the drive-through idea, that's a smart idea. That's a good idea. They should do that too as well.
I mean, in-store pickups is going to be one of the biggest ways to fight this because
Mhm.
you see the same freaking Buick come through and it looks like they spray painted the damn car to make a different color. And they're handing you an ID that definitely does not look government approved.
Yeah,
You know, you can have a cop standing right there and just, block the car out and go, step out of the car.
100%, 100%.
You can control this so much better.
And here's even the beautiful thing about it. What they should do is they should have it to where they should nine ball.
Oh, you broke up a volume there, nine ball.
Yeah, that's what
they're just like outside, like no one's looking, spray it.
But I will say, here's also what they should do. If they do go ahead and do the online purchase, but you can't ship it to your house, you have to have it picked up inside the store. You have to show a government issued ID. It will get canceled by the end of the day if it's not picked up. It's only valid for end of day pickup. I think they should do something along the lines like that too as well.
Yeah, I mean, because guess what? If you really want that PS5, your ass is going to be there by end of day. You send me a text at my job saying, "Hey, your PS5's here at work, or here, you need to come get it by end of day." I can guarantee you, as soon as my day clock ends and brings, I'm road running out that door and I'm speeding down the highway with 10 cops behind me chasing me. I'm like, "No, I'm going for a PS5, man! You ain't stopping me!"
Thanks.
Spray painting my car as I'm driving just to get hide.
Yeah. Send the ticket to my address. But
email it to me, dang it. You got my plates already.
You police officers got Cash App. All right, so going on.
Go pay. As my phone's out the window.
Going on over to this last little bit of story that we have right here. The third and final topic that we have for the day, titled "Scalpers Running the Show." Scalpers ruining the show. Stephen T. Wright from GameSpot says the next generation of video games consoles is like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X has been out for several months now, but appears to have that scalpers still snapping up many consoles as soon as they become available. Now, massive UK gaming retailer Game has said that it will be verifying console pre-orders to ensure that why can't we be like UK? All right, I'm sorry, I had to say that real fast. But massive UK game retailing Game has said that it will be verifying console pre-orders to ensure that only one PS5 is sold per customer. As reported by VGC, Game released a new batch of PS5s on sale this Tuesday morning, which resulted in wait times of an hour or more for interested customers. The consoles ended up selling out in under 10 minutes, with some of the social media users claiming that they had bought 10 or more PS5s using unauthorized bot software. The software's official site, social media account, claimed that over 2,000 PS5s were obtained with its help. Backlash from angry fans eventually prompted Carnage Bots to lock its profile. All pre-orders are subject to automatic checks and order updates, such as cancellations. Following these checks to take place after the customer will have received a valid order confirmation email. A portion of the statement reads: At the present time, these orders are still pre-orders, and no payment have yet been taken from the customer. Payments will be commenced once our order checks have been completed. Scalpers have been a pervasive problem ever since the launch of the next gen consoles last fall, with one report estimating that they have made in excess of $82 million in revenue. If you're still trying to order a PS5, check out our hub. If you're still trying to order a PS5, check out our hub to easily check whether it's in stock at major retailers. Video cards have also been subject to similar shortages over the past few months.
Yep.
So
that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah. So again, scalpers suck. That's pretty much what that's saying. Just scalpers, they are terrible. So don't.
The RTXs are ridiculous, and they're going up. I just was looking on Amazon. The 3070s are $1,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
They're ruining it for everyone. Is what they're really doing. Mm-hmm. They're just Yeah, I've got no other words to say.
Yeah, they suck. They suck. So yeah, so that kind of like wraps it up right then and there as far as our gaming news portion goes.
Not much in the world. We're waiting for new launches to come out. Wait for Monster Hunter Rise in March, and we'll definitely be able to rage and rant on that like no one's in business. Yes.
Yeah.
And Malachi may join me.
Yes.
No, he will join me.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, he will.
I will be. That's a fact. 100% fact.
I gotta figure out how to stream on that thing for sure.
You got there's a little we could go over it later, but there's a little device that should have came with your Switch, because you didn't get the Lite, right?
No,
Okay.
I got the V2. Yeah, the normal.
Yeah, so there should be a little thing that comes with it that you should be able to
Okay, cool.
to use for stream. But yeah, anyone that's currently watching right now or watching a little bit later on, thank you very much again for tuning in. I know that we have people that's watching from YouTube, from Twitch, Twitch, and Facebook, and I think also
Instagram,
Twitter, not Instagram yet, but Twitter,
MySpace.
not MySpace. That's showing your age. That's showing your age, man.
That's like knowing who Indiana Jones is.
Hey, facts. That's all true. But yeah, thank you guys again very much for tuning in. And if you guys are wanting to check us out, again, we have our website at www.alwtgaming.com. Pretty much all of our social media platforms can be found there. But in case you guys do not go there, you guys can always find us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon.com, YouTube, Anchor, the whole nine. You guys could do that just by tapping ALWT Gaming. At Patreon is www.patreon.com/ALWT Gaming. At Twitch is www.twitch.tv/ALWT Gaming. If you guys are checking out on YouTube, you guys might have to type in at least we tried gaming all in a search bar, and we should be able to pop on up. And of course, as always, I didn't throw in the plug early. I'll throw it in now. Raise Energy. If you guys are thirsty, like Raise Energy drinks. If you guys like workout powders, water supplements, the whole nine, just go to www.repsports.com. That's the REPP sports.com. Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout and get 15% off. That's 15% off your merchandise or drink, as I got right here. Which this section not a bad flavor. I thought it was gonna be nasty. Not gonna lie to you. Phantom Freeze. Yeah, I'm not really like the way it looks. It looks like it's one of those zero. It is zero sugar in all of them. But it looks like it's going to be one of those ones that's just like, it's okay. But it's actually not that bad. It's pretty delicious. But yeah, so be on the lookout for all of that. And this Thursday, the agenda is set up for this Thursday, Smite Night. Over the weekend is nothing. So the only thing that you guys have that's coming up right now is Smite Night. I think there's something going on tomorrow, which it's too late for us to actually make the agenda for it right now to react to it. But I think it was going to be a reaction video for tomorrow. I just can't remember what it was. I think it's Ubisoft, maybe. I could be lying.
Hold on.
Yeah. But as far as ALWT Gaming goes, our next stream is going to be Smite Night, and then all day anime this coming Sunday, noon to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys like that, make sure you guys are checking out our social media platforms and our site. And of course, as always, I still want to go ahead. Oh, there is one last thing I do want to throw out there too as well before you officially dip out. Today, you can still download the PlayStation Plus games for free. You guys have until next Tuesday, which is your last Tuesday, to be able to get the PlayStation Plus games, which I think is Tomb Raider, Greedfall. I think it's not Bug Snacks. It's
Maneater.
Yeah, Maneater for PlayStation 5.
Bug Snacks, you can count me out.
Bug Snacks was last month. Yeah. And then also with that being said,
I definitely downloaded that.
I did actually download that just so I could have it for you guys. But anyway, and then tomorrow is actually the last day for the PlayStation sale. Last day for the PlayStation sales tomorrow. So if you guys want to check out any sales that's going on in the PlayStation Store, make sure you guys are checking that out at your PSN. It's the 9-ball. Do you have any news as far as what Xbox is doing?
Sorry, none right now. I was looking up the scalper thing.
Gotcha.
Steam sale's coming up February 11th to the 15th for the next Steam sale. So check that out. The spring sale is normally around the end of May, but they didn't do one these last 2 years, if I remember right? 9-ball?
Spring sale?
Yeah, I don't think they did one recently.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember them doing it.
So many sales coming up.
I know they like to do a lot of daily sales. So the next week, the next couple days sale should be around the February 11th to the 15th. It looks like they're making an announcement on. In terms of a spring Steam sale, I don't really see too much being mentioned here, but they may bring it back. You never know. They may do something a little more fun for the start of 2021. Not the start of, but the continuation of 2021 into the new year, for hopefully gaming events. So maybe they'll do something real fun.
Oh, there you go.
Persona 5 Strikers is on sale.
Yeah. I saw a lot of stuff about that lately. So
Yeah, it's currently on sale.
yeah.
PC.
A lot of good stuff out there, guys. A lot of good stuff. So if you guys are interested in any of that, make sure you guys check out Steam. Make sure you guys check out Steam. Make sure you guys check out PSN by tomorrow. And make sure you guys are checking out Xbox Gold stuff.
Is this ranch?
Yes.
Limited time deal for that, where they got I think Xbox. Oh shoot! I just went back. I went too far back. Sorry.
Yeah, but keep an eye out definitely if you've got Steam.
All
keep an eye
right.
out.
3 months of Ultimate for $1.
There you go.
Hmm.
That's a steal. That's a steal deal right there. All right, guys.
Ultimate.
Do you guys have any last words before we go ahead and end out this stream for the night?
Stay safe. Take care. Don't buy from scalpers.
Thank the Lord someone else said it besides me, because I feel like I've been beating that drum for a while. Don't
I'm in the
give them any
background playing.
Thank you. That's the neon double dragon right there. We can't be giving it to these scalpers, guys. Don't do it. They suck. What about you there, Nineball? Anything you want to say?
Like they reiterate, just stay safe and don't buy from scalpers, and if you can, stay home with everything going on.
Mm-hmm. Don't buy from strangers, guys. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that's gonna do it here for All Things Gaming episode 32. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you guys on Smite Night. Control Alt
Complete.
Complete.
Peace.